Okay, so here I have an equation x times quantity 2x minus 5 equals 12. Now, normally if I had a constant or a number in front of here, I would just divide both sides by that number. But in this case, since I have a variable x, dividing both sides by x would give me 12 over x on the right side of the equation, and that's not going to make the problem any simpler. So I'm just going to start here by using the distributive property. So I have x times 2x, and that gives me 2x squared. Then x times negative 5, which gives me negative 5x equals 12. Okay. And with a problem like this, it's starting to look like a quadratic. So I'm going to try to subtract 12 from both sides and get one side equal to 0. So that gives me 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 equals 0. And when I'm at this stage, what I'm going to try to do first is factor, and then if I can't factor, I'm going to use a quadratic formula. And so you can factor this any number of ways, but I'm going to try what's called the Australian method, which means I make a big X here, and at the top I'm going to write A times C. So in this case, 2 times negative 12, and that's negative 24. At the bottom, I'm going to write the coefficient for B, which is negative 5 in this case. Okay? And so now I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give me negative 24, but add to give me negative 5. So I run through the list of factors of 24. 2 and 12, 3 and 8. So let's try that. 8 and 3. And they're supposed to, one of them's got to be negative and the other's got to be positive because their product is a negative number, and they have to add to negative 5, so it's got to be negative 8. Okay? And so I'm going to write this out here as 2x minus 8 times 2x plus 3. Okay? Now you can see here, if I were to multiply this using the FOIL method, my leading coefficient, my leading term is going to be 4x squared. But I want 2x squared, so I have to divide everything by 2. Okay? And then I'm going to try to simplify this expression as much as I can. And if you can see here on top, I have 2x minus 8. I can factor a 2 out of there. So that gives me 2 times x minus 4 times 2x plus 3. All of it over 2. Those 2's cancel. And that leaves me with x minus 4 times 2x plus 3 equals 0. Okay. Next, I can use the zero product property. That gives me x minus 4 equals 0, x equals 4. That's one of my answers. And then I have 2x plus 3 equals 0, 2x equals negative 3, and then x equals negative 3 halves. Now, there's a lot of steps to this problem, but the main takeaway from here is how do we begin a problem? Okay, so we've done quadratics before. What this problem is just kind of a hidden quadratic. It's a quadratic problem, but it doesn't look like that when you start out. So by distributing here, we get ourselves into a quadratic problem, which we already know how to solve, and we can solve that problem using any number of methods.